peoples globally, we have come a long way in our quest for securing our rightful place within the world community and within our respective homelands. As a young man, I attended my first international meeting in 1976, 40 years ago, the first United Nations Habitat Conference held in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. There, I once again had an opportunity to listen to George Manuel speak about the global Indigenous struggle for justice and rights, as he then was the president of the World Council of Indigenous Peoples, which was formed the previous year, 1975. This movement was joined by many others who were instrumental in getting us to where we are today, along with the International Indian Treaty Council formed in 1976. We have much to be thankful to those leaders, such as I mentioned, George Manuel from Canada, Russell Means from the Lakota Nation, Noeli Pocatara from Venezuela, Milien Panmal from Chile, Palomino Flores from Peru, Aslak Neil Sara from the Sami, Trino Morales from Colombia, Rogelio Guanaco from Argentina, Jose Carlos Morales from Costa Rica, Mildred Levy Wilson from Nicaragua, and Tarsila Rivera from Peru, who is still very much active today in FEMI. To those leaders and the many who have followed in their footsteps, we have indeed made substantial progress. From the first Indigenous Peoples meeting at the United Nations in Geneva in 1977 to the 2014 World Conference on Indigenous Peoples to today. I am extremely pleased and thankful for Canada's re-engagement within the international community after a virtual 10-year absence from the positive role that Canada can play and has played in the past. Minister Wilson-Raybauld's intervention yesterday heralds an enhanced Indigenous Canada relationship along with rights recognition for the Métis Nation, as well as support for Indigenous rights internationally. Minister Bennett will be giving a further intervention on behalf of Canada today, and we look forward to what she will be saying. Canada was a significant financial supporter to the World Council of Indigenous Peoples between 1975 and 1997, and once again, Indigenous leaders from the Americas will be calling upon Canada's fiscal assistance in the establishment of an Indigenous Peoples mechanism or organization so that we can meaningfully and on a sustained basis engage fully in the workings of the Organization of American States, the OAS. Next week, for 3 days, there will be a negotiation session on a draft American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples with a view to developing standards and rights recognition for Indigenous peoples in the Americas. We believe that Canada's re-engagement will also be of assistance to us there, and we expect that Canada will be joining us next week and making positive statements. So while Canada and the United States did not participate fully since 2007 because they did not agree that the UN Declaration should be the floor, the base of the American Declaration, Canada, I believe, we will hear today has and will reverse that position. So we look very much forward to a robust negotiation next week, and we are hopeful that the Organization of American States will not move forward without the true and meaningful involvement and consent of Indigenous peoples, and not adopt a unilateral declaration that undermines our rights that we have achieved through the international forum, the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. With that, thank you, Mr. Chairman.